Hi, so in this video I want to talk about a few things about artificial intelligence, and so this is not really um, a very in-depth video on the subject, but uh, I'm just going to talk about a few of my thoughts on this. So the first question that really comes to my mind when it comes to artificial intelligence is, can it be sentient? Can it create? Can it be self-aware? Can it have knowledge of its own existence? Does it have its own experience, personal experience? So let's kind of talk about how the parallels between like a human being and AI. So with okay, with AI, is it that with the moment you have a certain amount of neurons, and you have these neurons firing, and there are these connections between them, is it that there is some kind of a threshold that after this threshold is passed, it begins to develop its own consciousness? Does it work that way, or is there something else entirely which you have whenever you have a network of of impulses? Is it that there is something else which is required to kind of set that consciousness into motion? Um, is there some other concept which is kind of unknown at this time, which kind of sparks it, I guess I could say, or which sets it into motion, or which creates, which emanates that consciousness into this network? So is it that there is some other thing or some other concept that is required for for any network of impulses for it to become conscious and become self-aware? Or is it that there is just a threshold that the moment you cross a certain amount of impulses firing between themselves, does it become self-aware? So now with this, if there is a computer system which is capable of, let's say, I'm not sure of the numbers here, but whatever, let's say a large number um, what do you call it, flops, or so yeah, a large number of calculations and a large number of connections between itself. So, and I'm not sure if that's how actual processors work. I mean, I don't. It works with, and I'm not really. I don't really know that much about this topic, but it's based on successive calculations, not simultaneous calculations, if I'm not wrong. And I could be wrong here. So yeah. So is it that there are, if let's say there is a computer system which is capable of a very large number of, and like I said, I'm not sure of the numbers here, but a large number of calculations which it can make simultaneously, and it has these connections between itself. So these calculations can, um, they can interact with each other. So when you have such a large system, develop, um, would it develop sentience, or is it still a purely clockwork system, in a way that it's only going to do what what like it's going to behave like a clockwork system, so it's only going to do what it would be programmed to do? So where does that um, at what point does it not require programming, and it becomes an intelligent actor in and of itself? So yeah, this was just like a very basic thoughts video. So if you have any thoughts on this, let me know about this, because I think this is a really interesting topic to think about. And personally, I'm not even sure. I don't even know if an AI system in the sense of a computer. For some reason, I feel that it can create the appearance of a sentient being in a way that you can program it to act in certain ways. But at the end of the day, it's just programming. It's doing what it's programmed to do. So can it develop that some kind of randomness to it? Is it possible to like, I'm not sure about this, but there are certain systems when computers have to generate randomness, but it is still pseudo-random. It's not truly random numbers that computers generate. And I'm not sure about this, but this is just something I was reading about, I think. So yeah, in that case, it's kind of interesting to see if it can develop that. There is something, at some point, it becomes intelligent in a way that it does not require programming, and it can kind of understand its own programming, I guess. So yeah, this is all kind of interesting to think about. And like I said, I'm not really that knowledgeable in when it comes to this, but I just thought that this makes for some interesting thoughts. So yeah, that's where I'm going to end this video, and I'll see you in the next video.